I have a confession to make. These stairs are kind of freaking me out a little bit. I think I am surrounded by bad choices. As much as I want to love this lower part of the garden, I think it's a little dangerous. Today I'm in Griffith Park and we're going to hike up to Amir's garden. The story of Amir and how he created his garden is pretty interesting, but I'm going to wait until we get up to the top to tell you that. When I was researching this hike, every article I read had a different way to get up there. So I tried last week and was unsuccessful. So I have looked at the maps, read some more articles. I think I know how I'm going to get up there today. So I'm starting here in the parking lot and I will show you how I got here. And if we take a look up here, do you see those trees up there? That is Amir's garden. He created an oasis here in Griffith Park. Amir's garden is one of only 3 community-started gardens that are in Griffith Park. So a lot to get to. Let's get started on this hike. Amir's garden is on the valley side of the hill, not the Hollywood side. From Crystal Springs Drive, you'll turn onto Griffith Park Drive and drive about a mile or so. When you get to the Wilson and Harding Golf sign, you'll head up to the left to the parking lot. Stay to the right. I didn't know where I was going and ended up going the wrong way. Don't do that. So I found the parking lot and parked my car. I've walked to the end of the parking lot and we are going to be heading up this little path here. We've had such a wet winter, you know, it's surrounded by these golden flowers, so this is going to be a nice hike. So it's only about 20 yards from the parking lot to get up here to the main path, and once you get on the main path, you are going to turn right onto the fire road. Pretty soon after you get on the main path from the parking lot, I know that's real descriptive, pretty soon you're going to pass these steps. Now this is one way to get up to Amir's garden, but my understanding is that the steps that head up are very steep, so it's quicker. And if you're really in good shape, this is one way to go. I think I am going to stay on the fire road and take the fire road on up past a water tower that's supposed to indicate you're on the right trail. So I think I will try to come down these steps though, but for heading up, I'm going to stay on the fire road. Helicopters are so noisy. All right, so we came down the trail and there is a map here that tells us where we're going to go. If you kept going straight, that is just the Mineral Whales Trail. We don't want that. We are going to head up past this sign. Time to start the incline. Almost as soon as you start up this ridiculous incline, you'll see 2 water towers. You're going to be going past one of them, and this hike is only a half mile. So this torture walking up just isn't going to last that long. So hang in there. You can do it, and so can I. Someone carved a chair into a tree stump, and I was really tempted to take advantage of it, but it's already occupied. So onward and upwards. So as you come around this corner, the trail levels off a little bit, thank goodness, and you get your first glimpse of the water tower. So you're halfway to the top. You can see the tops of the trees right up there. That is where we're headed. let's talk about Amir and this garden. A lot of people think that this area here is the garden, but that's not true. There's actually 5 acres of oasis that he created up here. This is the third of 3 community created gardens in Griffith Park, and they're all 3 related. The first one is called Captain's Roost. Now that was created back in the 30s by a man whose name is lost to time, but he was known because he wore his captain's hat, and he built Captain's Roost, was up there every weekend working on it. When he passed away, there was another woman who took over the volunteers and managing it, but she was a very unpleasant person. She would not be doing any of the work. She would just be sitting on a bench yelling at everyone else to do the work and telling them how to do it. One of the people who was working on that garden is a man named Dante, and she was criticizing him so badly one day. Dante just got so angry, he threw down his shovel and he said, "I am never coming back here again." And he didn't. He went to a different part of Griffith Park and he started his own garden, which people call Dante's View. That also developed a volunteer crew of people, and Amir was one of the people who volunteered for that crew and was working on Dante's View. So Amir is an immigrant, and he was also an avid hiker, and he loved to hike through this area. But this area had been devastated by fire, so there was nothing here, no vegetation, and he thought it was just such a shame. So he decided to do something about it. And because of his work on Dante's View, he went to LA Parks and Recs and tried to get permits for this, and he was given the permits, but only the permits. They gave him no equipment, no shovels, nothing. So he started working on this garden just himself, a shovel. There was no water up here. For the first 15 years, he carried water up here to water all of the vegetation. Now they do have some irrigation now, but you can see from this mess of hose over here, the area is not completely irrigated. But one of the things that this garden does is these plants are water resistant. I'm sorry. These plants are water-bearing plants, so that means they serve as a firewall. If a fire comes into Griffith Park, this oasis is going to help keep it from spreading. So it's not just a great place for hikers to come, it's also a very necessary part of the wildlife management here in Griffith Park. So Amir's job was as a wine merchant, but in addition to loving to hike and gardening, he was also an artist. And when he got started, he got no supplies from the city of LA. He had to come up with everything himself from his own funds or take donations. So these poles were donated from the city. They were old telephone poles, and he took them and created these planters on top of them. So these are his original designs for planting. They're not marked, and I'm not sure we will know which ones they are, but some of the trees that have been planted up here are memorial trees, planted by friends and families in memories of their loved ones. You can see they've got these, I don't even know what you call them. They're thingies that you tie your horse up to. So there's a lot of horseback riding in Griffith Park. They will come over here and tie their horses up here and rest. And you can see there's a sign up here, "No horses beyond this point." Here is a water trough for the horses to drink from, and they have a dog water bowl for you to water your dog if you have your dog with you. They also have a sign that says, "Please don't let your dogs jump in the horse water trough." So this is a great place to come if you're hiking for a human, a horse, or a dog. So it looks like they've got some construction work that is getting ready to be done in this area. Key is the porta potty, the barriers over there. Then you've also got this area fenced off, some pipes, and some planks over here. So it's a really good sign. I don't know exactly what they're doing, but it does mean they are improving it, and it's going to be here for years to come. All right, so let's go explore around here some more through one of these paths that head down into more of the garden. This is cool, but it's a lot like a jungle. As much as I want to love this lower part of the garden, I think it's a little dangerous. There are plants that are going across the pathway and it's really hard to go around. So I think I'm going to try and find my way back up to the top. So here's an example. How do you find your way through this? This is how the path comes down, but yeah, I can't get through there. All right, I think I am surrounded by bad choices. We've got a blocked bramble over here. We've got blocked bramble over here. The way I came, I had to duck under one tree branch and over another one. I don't really want to go back that way. Yeah, a series of bad choices. Well, that was an adventure. I'm not out of the woods yet. I am definitely going to find my way back up to the main garden area. So I found the steps up to the main garden area, but I can't help myself. I'm curious, so I'm going to keep exploring down here for a little more. All right, this part of the path is pretty good. I think maybe I just got down into an area that has fallen upon hard times. It looks like a lot of the trees have fallen. I'm not sure if that happened because of the storms that we had this winter or some earlier event this year. But now that I'm on a path that is like bramble free, this is really cool. Here's a really cool picnic area. I believe that these picnic tables and this bench over here are from Amir's time. They definitely look like they've been here a while with the paint chipped and the graffiti. So I found this cool bench that is down a few steps, and you get to look out over the view. Let me show you the view. Yeah, I think when this was put here, these trees were not as tall as they are now. I think I prefer this view though to an unobstructed view of the valley. And this is pretty cool. So Amir was up here so often when he was working on this oasis that the birds became familiar with him, and he could put bird seed or nuts in his hands and hold it out, and the birds would fly down and eat from them. That is how in tune with nature he was. You and I, we can hold out bird seed all we want, the birds are not going to be coming to us. So these are the steps back up to the main area. It's another one. I think I've passed 4 or 5 of them now. And you can see at the top of the area, that is where the horse tie-up thingy is. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start heading down, because if I go a little bit To the left of those stairs, and you can see down here, these are the steps that go back down to the parking lot. Okay, I have a confession to make. These stairs are kind of freaking me out a little bit. It seemed like a good idea to come up the fire road and down the steps, but I have a history of falling down steps, losing my balance and whatnot, and I have done it so often that I permanently keep ankle braces and a boot. And you know, because I know if I fall down, I'll sprain my ankle or I'll break a bone in my foot. And now looking down at these steps, I'm just a little terrified, but I'm halfway down the mountain, so I'm not going to climb back up and go. So I'll just have to be careful. I did it. I made it down the steps without falling. I did scoot on my butt a few times, but I made it down safely. If you are looking for an adventure to get up to Amir's garden, then definitely take these steps. It's going to be challenging and interesting. If you want to get up to Amir's garden, but you're not looking for any life-threatening, daring stairs like these, then follow the path that I took going up the fire road. I hope this helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching.